Hello, Jack. This is Jeff, the garage guy. Thanks for having me out yesterday. I've been working kind of hard on your design here, and I just wanted to show you some of the basic ideas I've come up with so far, and some of the challenges I'm having and why. I guess the first thing I'll point out, you're looking at this picture here. On the left side of the picture, we have some kind of a polo mid-grade blue, and then it's real bright and baby blue on the right. That's just a matter of lighting. I have to place these virtual lights around in here in order to get this countertop area lit up. It bleaches out the wall on the right side a little bit. So try not to take the colors too literally at this point. It's just hard to capture them in the software. So here's what I have. Couple of challenges. One is this Coke fridge. It's pretty cool. It's 27 inches deep though. And I personally don't like the look of a 27-inch deep refrigerator that is that nice, sticking out past your cabinets. So what I did was I made your cabinets that are around the Coke machine 27 inches deep. And on the right side I did 27 inches deep as well. Another real problem I'm having with your garage is this pesky window here. I would have liked to design a wall-to-wall system, but this window is only 10.5 inches from the corner, which is kind of strange. And it's made my design here a little bit more challenging. So I ended it here and just allowed the window to be a little bit behind the cabinet, but it's far enough away that I think it'll look good. Let's go over some of the particulars here. Let's get another view. Here's an angled view. Alright, so as you can see, the refrigerator has a side panel on it that goes all the way up the full height of the cabinets. It just sticks out a little bit past the cabinets so the door hinge can swing. Of course, all this would be upon closer inspection of how everything works in the fridge. I also raised it up off the ground, integrated it into the cabinet system, understanding that there's going to be some drainage and leaking and things like that I need to pay attention to when I'm designing how I put this all together. Nothing I haven't done before. The countertop, I stepped that back to 24 inches, which is standard. Your garage isn't really deep, so we really do need every inch we can get, which is really the main reason why I stuck the Coke fridge on the right side of the door, because we have deep cabinets on the right side of the door, a deep workbench. I wanted to put everything deep on one side, and then I stepped back to 16 inches on the left side of the door, just so if the car's a little bit bigger, you're going to be able to get in and out of the car and walk around. A neat thing about this step back, I had to step the cabinets out more than I stepped the counter back. And the reason I decided not to bring the cabinets out yet is because this step back here would make a stainless steel counter if you chose to go that way. A lot less expensive than it would normally be, because basically all I have to do is get a piece of stainless steel, take it to the brake and bend one bend in it. And I don't have to worry about the sides of the counter. Usually the counter sticks out a little bit past the side of this door. So I don't have to worry about welding that corner and doing the extra bends. So it does take a lot of labor out of the counter and makes the counter more affordable if you wanted to, consider stainless steel. Above the fridge, as of now, this is easy enough to change, but as of now I left it open with a black interior. I thought we could throw some LED lights and display something there if you wanted to. Or we could just put doors on it, just let me know. I went with what's called the platinum gray cabinetry, and I did black caps on top and black bases on bottom. I integrated a step that connects the system together. It would just be built, however I have to do it over your existing concrete step. I wouldn't even move that step. But the front of it would match the black on your cabinets, and the top of it would actually have raised deck flooring, so it's almost like yet another little welcome mat to get any dirt that's left on your shoes completely off before you walk in the house. And this little section of floor, you can just pick it up, blow it out, vacuum it, however you want. So it's just kind of laying in a hole created just for that section of floor. It's a pretty neat way to do it. I've done it that way before. Another thing I did was, I got to put something above this counter. I got the TV here, and if I just leave blank wall, it doesn't look that great. So I did a few things. I put the store wall here. I know you're not into hanging stuff so much. It looks good even if you don't. It's appropriate, and you can hang a couple well-chosen things that really will make the garage look, a little more personalized. And then I had another issue where the TV is 48.5 inches wide. Kind of an awkward size considering our cabinets are 24 inches wide. So what I did was I added little accent pieces of metal in between these these cabinets here. So you got the big cabinet, an inch, 24-inch cabinet, then another inch, another 24-inch cabinet, then another inch, making the countertop 51 inches wide, which gave me a little bit of space on each side of the TV. I had the TV being as large as it is, and the space I have to design into being so small, I had another issue, and that was what to do with all the space above and below the TV. If I move the TV way up, it looks a little awkward. If I move it down and put cabinets over it, it just didn't look very good. So what I did was I created kind of a neat control panel here at the bottom of the back wall. I'll go over that in more detail in a minute. And then on top, what I was thinking I could do was build kind of a speaker box, if you will, where you can just pop the front cover off. It would be that speaker mesh they use. And you could put a center channel speaker in here. You could use it to run all kinds of wires for whatever you want to hook up. Could be where, you might be able to aim your remote at it and control the surround sound. So there's a lot of options what we can do behind that mesh, because I know a lot of remote controls can see through the mesh, and sound travels through the mesh. So it's just like a speaker, but custom made. I did the store wall around here too. This is just my way of attaching this side of the system to this side of the system. I wanted it to be one large system going across the back wall. It looks a lot better to have it look as if it's one piece than to have a couple of cabinets here and a couple of cabinets there. So I bridged the system with not only the step, I used the store wall and a shelf above the door that's not as deep as the top caps that you have on the right and left side. Speaking of the top caps, they are shelves. I mean, you can store whatever or display whatever you want on top of them. So it should be a nice place to put some pretty cool stuff. Let's take a closer look at the counter. If I take some diamond plate and take it to the break, bend it up a little bit, I can create what I think is a pretty neat control center. I designed this, in this CAD, and it's pretty time consuming. I made these outlets, and I made a couple little toggle switches just to demonstrate what we could put in here. So we can have our electrical built into this. We can have switches. We can have some pretty neat toggle switches. Then we can get toggle switches that run on 15 amp service. So we can have, you could flip a switch up and turn on, say, some recessed lighting on the bottom side of this back shelf and light up the workbench. Another switch could light up, some of the other lighting in the garage, or turn on the stereo. Or, we can have an auxiliary port, a place to plug in your iPhone to play the music through here. So what I would want to do with this is to try to come up with as many purposes to use it as we can. And, other than the main switch, you need to turn the light on to get in and out of the garage. Any other auxiliary lighting, fun stuff like that. I'd like to get some pretty cool toggle switches. It'll look like an operation board of a NASA, or not NASA, they wouldn't use diamond plate, but it's kind of got a race car feel to it. I thought it was pretty neat. We could take stainless steel. I could bend the counter, bend back, bend up, bend back, and bend back. So what I'm saying is this could be one flowing piece of stainless steel as well, with these outlets built right into it. Oh, and one thing I always like to do is I have an agenda when it comes to designs, and I'm sure you guys are used to designers with their own agendas and using their taste and trying to push them on you. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to make one attempt. I just want to show you how bright and nice looking these white ones are as well. The white cabinets, in my experience, really brighten up the space. So it's a matter of taste to me. I just really like the white cabinets. They're the opposite of cheap looking. You know, the garage that you're moving into has those really cheap, kind of cruddy white cabinets. These do not resemble those at all. These are bright, exciting, strong, thick, you know, husky cabinets. So I just wanted to show you a quick picture of, you know, the white cabinets in there. The pros and cons to white versus the other color. With this white material, I have full access to it. I can completely make your cabinets from scratch in my shop however I want. In order for us to get a hold of this platinum color, I have to order it from one of my cabinet suppliers, which is okay. The problem is I got to play their game. I got to, you know, I wanted to make this cabinet 95.5 inches tall just to meet my design requirements. Well, their cabinet comes 90 inches tall. If I want it 95.5 inches tall, I got to pay a custom fee, you know, and it's going to, you know, increase the cost of the cabinet by 20%. Whereas when I'm building it, I'm just throwing away a 1/2 inch of material instead of 5 inches of material that I normally would. So it doesn't even matter to me one way or the other cost-wise. Depth, that's another issue that we're going to run into. It's just going to, you know, that's going to be a custom depth cabinet, and it's just something that we're going to have to pay extra for. So, but, you know, if you really like the color and, you know, you're willing to pay the extra money to get those custom sizes, it's probably gonna end up being probably, say, an extra $1,000, roughly speaking, to go from white to platinum. Just because of the way that their system works. They have their standards, and I have to order to their standards or order custom. So that's the plan I have so far. If you could just give me your feedback. Also, you can print one of these out. I'll send you a printable version of this. You can write notes all over it. I'm going to sit on this design for a while and let you tell me what to do next. I know we got some action we're going to do on the side walls and things like that. But I've been focusing so many hours on this back wall. I figured I'd take a break and let you decide if you like what I got going on so far, or if you want to steer me in another direction, that's fine too. Thanks, Jack. I'll talk to you soon.